He's in Washington. He's at the White House. He's in the White House even as we speak. In fact, I'm listening. He's got some Secret Service person shuffling around trying to find him a room that he can talk with. Just not the round room. Don't go into that one. You don't want to talk in that one. Russell Edwards, why are you in the White House this morning?
Excuse me, Mr. President. Hold on one second. Hey, Tim. Yeah, glad to be with you this morning.
What are you doing in the White House?
We are here with the Office of Public Engagement, who is hosting a Georgia Community Leaders Briefing for community leaders all over Georgia, coming to the White House, learning about ways that we can engage the federal government and all the different programs that come with that to help Georgia and to bring Georgia forward.
And how did you get selected for this? How did this come about?
Well, I wish I could come up with a funny joke right now, but actually, I think being engaged in the campaign in 2008 and being active in Athens, I was selected with the host committee that was put together, Tim Alborg and Ted Terry. The Office of Public Engagement reached out to them, and they put together a list of leaders from all over the state. There's some state senators here, State Senator Doug Stoner, State Senator, Senate Minority Leader Steve Henson, a lot of other Democratic Party officials. It's not a partisan event, though. It's purely talking about ways that the federal government can operate in a better way for Georgia.
And what do you expect, Russell Edwards, with us in the White House this morning? I know that the day of meetings and work sessions is about to get started here. What would you think might come out of this? What might you bring back to Georgia with you?
Well, right now I'm about to pop into a Small Business Administration breakout session, and I think by learning the different mechanisms that these programs operate under and these different tools available for everyday Americans, I can take that knowledge back to Georgia and help out some of our small businesses. We're also going to have a lot of breakout sessions dealing with what we see on the ground in Georgia and what we are concerned with there, and bring those ideas here into the White House so that, people talk about how the Beltline is such an insular community. This new Office of Public Engagement is really working hard to bring people from outside the Beltway into the White House to express the concerns that they have that, as you know, Tim, don't necessarily coincide with the Beltway concerns.
Sure. Russell Edwards joining us this morning from the White House. Very cool to be in the White House for a reason. I mean, I've never even taken the tour. I've always been the guy that stood out in front of the fence at the White House. I've never been to the White House for a reason. So that's a very cool thing. Do you get to come back for your show tomorrow, or are you going to let Neil handle that by himself?
Neil's going to handle it by himself. I believe I'm going to call in and just do a little chat and do an update on what I learned today. And it's great to be here, Tim. You hit the nail on the head. It's great to be here with a purpose. I'm really looking forward to learning more about the Small Business Administration and the work that administration does for small business owners all over America. I want to take that knowledge and bring it back to Northeast Georgia and help small businesses there.
Yeah, Russell, I'm truly envious that you're in the White House. I've never been in the White House. What's your impression of seeing just the White House itself? I don't know where in it you are, but what's your impression?
Coming here under these circumstances, it really drives home how this should be the people's house. This is a democracy. Our president lives there. This is an open forum that citizens and people of Georgia and America at large should feel welcome here. And I really applaud the administration's steps towards bringing people from Georgia into the White House to sound off and to communicate what they would like to see the government do, and also learn ways that they can collaborate with the government back home. And coming down 16th Street today and seeing the White House as the sun was rising, I mean, I really believe it's one of the most beautiful structures in the world. It's breathtaking when you approach it, and it's truly an honor to be here.
Russell Edwards, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks for checking in.
Glad to be with you, Tim. You're the best.
Well, Russell Edwards is on the line from Washington, D.C. Hey, Russell, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Hey, how are you?
Living large. How about you?
Pretty good. Hey, how did the conference go? I mean, actually, it was just a meeting, right? More than it wasn't really a conference. It was a whole thing was it all Georgia contingent?
Yes, it was Georgia Leaders Community Forum, basically, and brought together people from all over Georgia, brought them into the White House. A lot of the day we spent in the Eisenhower Executive Building right next to the White House and met with various administration officials, learning about what's happening in the White House. and talking a lot about the American Jobs Act. Went to a breakout session with the Small Business Administration and learned a lot about grants and loans and loan guarantees primarily that the Small Business Administration offers to small businesses all over the nation. And also learned a lot at that breakout about commercial weatherization tax credits that the Small Business Administration offers, which is really a great program that all the businesses in Athens could really take advantage of if they, say have some incandescent light bulbs illuminating their store. If you replace those with LEDs, keep the receipt, give it to your accountant, tell them about the program through the Department of Energy, and you'll get a tax credit.
That's great. Do they do the same thing with insulation and windows, or is it most?
Right. Yeah. Insulation, weather stripping, replacing single pane windows with double pane, more efficient windows. All of those retrofittings of a building and commercial weatherization. The Department of Energy has a program partnering with the Small Business Administration to offer tax credits. So folks, they can save money on their bills with their commercial buildings, cut costs with their commercial expenses, and at the same time get a tax credit. So it really is a great program.
And I think it also, Russell, if you could correct me if I'm wrong about this, but the incentives for solar as well is a little bit greater for commercial.
It is. They have one thing that I learned about that was great is that Atlanta is one of 3 cities that's part of building a Better Buildings initiative also through the Department of Energy that seeks to cut the energy usage of all the commercial buildings in Atlanta by 20%. I believe by 2020 is the goal that they've laid out. President Obama's administration is really going after this commercial building energy efficiency issue because commercial buildings use up about 40% of all the energy produced in this nation. So, you think when you walk into a store in the summertime and the doors are open and the AC is just billowing right out the doors, it's easy to imagine that magnified across the nation, our commercial buildings use a lot of energy.
Wow, I think that's right. You get the most bang for your buck, meaning you get the most return on your investment, definitely, by increasing the efficiency of your building. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Russell, we got to run, but thanks so much for calling in.